What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Yard G2A Fest. Here on the Yard Fest channel, we have Game 3 incoming between Vega Squadron and 4ASC. Vega holding a 2-0 lead. Really hope they don't close it out 3-0 because that's not fun for anyone, especially 4ASC, but it looks like Vega, they're just on fire right now. We'll see if they can close it out. I'm Mike Loris. I'm going to be joined by Danny for this third, potentially last game. What are your thoughts on what's going on in this series? I like how 4ASC are finally banning out the DK.
I really think this should have come sooner. They should have banned out the DK after game 1. They just had to see it and just say, this is working too well in game 1. They're probably going to pick it up in game 2. But for AC, I felt like they were just a little bit stubborn with not banning it. They're just saying, okay, there's some other heroes that we don't want to deal with. We don't want to deal with those instead. But when you're presented with such a strong hero, you've got to let things through just to deny Vega a strong hero like the DK. So this time we're going to see no one not playing a DK. I wonder what Vega Squadron is going to give him this time, considering that he's not going to be getting that really, really tanky dragon. But for Anchors, they're behind 2 games. This is going to be really rough. Their morale is going to be hit pretty hard. What is a typical 4ASC kind of draft? What kind of style do you normally would say is a 4ASC-esque kind of play?
Well, right now, because it is still available, grabbing an IO for them would probably be as preferable as possible. I don't know if I've actually seen 4SC play any series in this patch. This might be the first one, so I'm not too sure how well they've adjusted. And it seems like just based off of this, not too well. They are a fan of Nature's Prophet as well. Maybe going for some pushing of their own would be preferable, but there it is. IO as the first pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Queen of Pain first pick by Vega side, just give that one to no one instead. But IO for 4ASC, and this was a hero that was previously banned out in both games, so it's at the very least going to be a large change of pace for them, and given how the last 2 games went, that's what they need.
Hopefully this is going to put them in a bit of a comfort zone because they are running that Wisp, because Wisp, you put him with a very big partner, they come online very quickly, and from that point on, you just go for it. Do you think we're just going to be expecting a tiny Wisp, or does 4Anchors like to run a different partner for their Wisp? Oh, they're going to grab the Queen of Pain themselves.
I think this is the smarter decision. Like, Bristleback IO is probably the safest one to go for. Like, it's not really shut down really hard by anything. IO Tiny a close second there, but this is going to force Vega Squadron to use their bans in order to ban out the IO partners, and we've already seen 4ASC, they don't really... I mean, they have no hesitation as far as picking up Sven is concerned, so they can always go for that one, and Sven with IO is so much different than Sven without it. So grab a strong hero, effectively ban it away from no one, ban it away from Vega Squadron, that Queen of Pain. I like how 4SC are proceeding onward with this draft, and Vega, they're just going to try the Chen again. Do you think they're going to ban out a Bounty Hunter, or do you think they're not going to be too scared about that?
I don't think 4ASC will pick up a bounty. It's going to be super annoying for the Chen, but I don't think a bounty is going to mesh too well in their draft, because take into consideration that they've got a Queen of Pain as their mid, and they're going to have a Wisp as one of their supports. Their draft, it's going to be difficult if they run a bounty, because you want to have a proper support plus an off lane to go into the front lines for you, because you're running this Wisp combo. If it's not going to be a tanky partner for the Wisp, then they need something else to sit in the front lines, and a bounty. I just don't like a bounty. I can't put it to words, but I just don't feel a bounty will work for 4Anchors C capped in this game.
I think it's
sorry,
the fact that,
I was trying to say stuff, but
IO isn't like a real support hero. Like in lanes, they need at least a laning support hero, and last game the bounty only worked because they had the Witch Doctor to get away with that real laning role. IO isn't going to do it. He doesn't pressure the lane well. He is potentially really good if you have like a dual off lane scenario. We've seen that before with the Legion Commander with the Bristleback as well. Does pretty decently, but you really need a little bit more lane control, and the Bounty Hunter doesn't give you that. It makes Chen's life difficult, but we've been seeing Solo recover from the worst possible Chen game in the last to have some pretty good impacts. We have an Ancient Apparition being banned out along with that Tiny, and Vega are going to grab the Bane again. They're just going to run the last draft back.
I want to say thank you for putting my brain to paper or to words. It just
I
kind
got
of
you. Don't worry.
disappeared.
I got you.
Thank you, my partner. I would high five you, but I can't. But Vega Squadron, they're going to pick up the Bane this game, and we saw how powerful this hero was last game. The amount of control that he provides your team, and just his capabilities of just being able to disrupt the enemy, it's there. And especially when it's going to be a Wisp something combo, you can decide to disrupt the Wisp, you can disrupt the partner, you can do whatever you like. But it's going to wreck that combo that you normally have with the Wisp plus something. So for Anchors, are they prepared to run a Wisp something into a Bane? Because this Bane's going to be annoying.
It is going to be very annoying. It's just Nightmare and walk away, or Fiend's Grip Nightmare and then actually go ahead and kill them. This Bane's still not looking like he's going to be setting up for much, but we saw that in the last game as well. He never really set up for that many things, occasionally for a Dragon Tail, but for right now, Vega don't really have that set up, and it doesn't seem like they're going to get it anytime soon. It is nice to have that grip, and if 4 Anchors don't pick up some sort of stuns, then the Bane is going to get that one guaranteed every single time. Fortunately for 4 Anchors, most of the viable IO partners have some sort of CC, like CK, Sven, I guess Phantom Assassin doesn't. She's also a pretty common one, but she can usually get around it just by sheer burst alone. They are going to need CC right now for 4 Anchors, but similarly for Vega, they are going to need CC as well. Like, they have only Bane right now, and though Grip is fantastic, the other CC tool in the Nightmare is like soft CC, not hard CC to deal with the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, if they want to kill the Queen, they have to commit a Grip or something else for that matter. Maybe if they get lucky with some Chen Centaurs, but the chances of that happening, it's pretty low unless we see the Queen of Pain aggressively blinking in and there being a counter gank from Vega. We're going to see our Golden Girls though. We're going to have the Lina pick up for 4 Anchors. So would you think this is going to be a support Lina or a core Lina?
I don't really think there's any reason to put her into one of those roles right now. It's a hero with a stun, so first of all, that's really good with what Vega have, and it's a hero that can hold down a lane should they need a support. I don't really think they need to make that decision right now. Like, Vega Squadron, they don't really have anything that demands a Lina support or a core or anything like that, so I think 4 Anchors should just be happy that they have a stun on their side, and they have a good amount of burst as well. They're going to be a little bit more ill-prepared, though, in this game to deal with the Chen. Like, this is potentially even going to turn into a pushing draft from Vega Squadron. If they have the Chen join up with some other pushing hero, they can really put the heat to 4 Anchors really early, and that's clearly, from the past couple of games, what Vega Squadron are most comfortable drafting.
It is. So I'm looking at this draft from 4 Anchors. They've got 3 very squishy heroes. They have a support, they have a mid/off lane, and then you have a Lina that can pretty much do anything. They need tanky frontliners. So this Wisp partner, it's going to have to be a strength-based hero, like you suggested, possibly the Sven or the CK. They're going to go for Legion Commander. Now this is the new Legion Commander.
It's strength.
What were the changes to her? I think it's an all-girls draft, I guess.
Yeah, IO has no gender. Girls to draft for 4 Anchors. So Wind Ranger last? I'm going to call it right now. Wind Ranger last. Get all the soulless gingers in here, but okay, Legion Commander as the last pick for 4 Anchors. This may very well be an IO Legion Commander dual lane. And for Vega, their lanes are looking very strong right now. They're scaling into the late game, not as much though. Legion Commander also has a way at dealing with the Bane as far as interrupting that is concerned. And there's not much else that you could buff out with that press the attack, but that's really all you need from your Legion Commander in this particular game. This is a much different draft from 4 Anchors, and this is, again, maybe going to be a little bit more in their wheelhouse just because they are working with this IO.
This is going to be very quirky. I'm interested to see what they want to pick up for their last hero, if it's going to be that traditional support with the Wisp, or if it's going to be a core hero and they're going to bump that Lina down to the support role. Lina this game, I feel like she has to be in the core role. They need a bit of burst, and having a Queen of Pain plus a Lina to give you that initial burst with the magical spells and their pure damage spells. Lina, she will do pure damage eventually. Then just having the Legion Commander there just to soak up extra damage for herself with the duel, it's going to be nice. So if it's 4 Anchors, they're just pretty much putting everything into this burst, give Legion damage, run draft. That's pretty much what I'm getting. Darkseer pickup though for Vega Squadron. Didn't actually talk about this too much. This will be annoying for the Legion Commander. Just those illusions when she starts getting big, they're going to hurt. Oh god.
I was just about to say, like, this is the type of draft from Vega Squadron where you just put an Ion Shell in the Bristleback and just say, go kill them. And Slardar being there as well, you can put the Ion Shell on either of these heroes and just say, go kill them. They may be a little bit weaker in the lanes, but right now, Queen of Pain probably going towards the mid lane will have a very good matchup against pretty much anyone that Vega Squadron have to throw at her, because you have 3 melee cores, and Queen of Pain usually crushes any melee core given. So Vega Squadron, they have a draft that can be very, very chaotic. They have a lot of damage right now, mostly physical for them, so they'll be able to crush through 4 anchors, and it's going to be a Storm Spirit last for the 4 anchors side. This slaughter was previously banned out by the Vega Squadron side, so we'll see if it can actually work out. This is going to be a chaotic game for Vega. That's what they're banking on.
Yeah, it's more like 4 ladies plus Storm Spirit for 4 anchors, but
That was just,
oh my goodness. I'll stop. I'll stop.
Just no.
This is going to be a very interesting game, though. We've got a lot of mobility on the side of 4 anchors. They want to be hyper-aggressive. They have the Wisp plus Legion. You have a Storm Spirit who's going to zip in and out. You have a Queen of Pain that's got a blink. So Trixie's going to go in the off lane with Queen. Matoma Man, safe lane? No. Yes. He went safe lane last game.
That's probably the best way to do it. Like, they are giving... oh, they're swapping right now, so let's just, like, hold on that for right now. The lanes for 4 ASC, though... Storm Spirit, Queen of Pain, a dual tri-lane with the Legion Commander, doesn't really matter. The Vega Squadron side, they have okay lanes, but they're very melee-heavy lanes, so Queen of Pain and Storm Spirit should be just fine. And Vega, they have a Nightmare into a Crush. That is something to set up for, so most likely you're going to see the Bane and Slardar go together. But we'll see as they actually load out into their lanes. Guys, this is Game 3, potentially the last game in the best of 5 between Vega Squadron and 4ASC. Again, big thanks to G2A for helping out with this tournament. There is a code that you can see on screen, 3% off, and it's down below as well. Just type in YARD when you're prompted for a coupon code, save 3%, so it's pretty sweet there. Also, because I realized I didn't say this before, these teams fighting for the lion's share of 10K, I think it's like 4,400 euro, like 5,000-ish dollars for first place, so that's not a bad chunk of change.
It's still quite a bit of money. If you can win money, why not? Especially if you can get the lion's share, it's great. Although for ASC, this might be a mistake. They have Boogie on the high ground, Trixie on the low ground. Boogie, he's just going to be there as a bit of a ward. He can just tether downhill if necessary, and he does so. So they're going to be okay, but they're going to try and contest for this top rune. Bottom rune would be much easier for ASC. The only question is Vega going to commit everybody to this top rune, or are they anticipating a 5-on-5 engagement? Because they're split at this point.
Well, they know that Boogie has no items right now, so he's a very easy target. And if they kill him off, then the top lane is crippled, and Pashabash is closing right in. The call is going to go on to Trixie instead of Boogie right now. He's going to tether away, but he's right into no one right now. Killing off this IO is going to be huge. Seema's taking a lot of damage in the meantime. They force the IO out. No one just needs 2 more Quill Sprays to get this kill. Boogie is going to get killed off by Seema. A huge kill for Vega right now. They're going to chase everyone else out who actually grabbed that bounty rune. Both do go to the Radiant, but it crucially didn't go towards the IO. He needs his very early bottle, else this off lane is going to crumble. And, well, Trixie, he probably could have saved the IO there, but I'm pretty sure that was a miscue. You don't use press the attack on yourself when you're taking no damage and no hits.
I'm pretty sure he double tapped. Typically, you double tap, and I'm pretty sure he double tapped it. So, a bit of a misplay there from Trixie. If they actually got it off on the Wisp, he should have been fine. But unfortunately for 4ASC, they're under pressure. I feel like that play, it's just because they're feeling so pressured this game to make a comeback. They're already behind 2 games, and when you're this far behind, mistakes are going to happen, especially when your emotions are running wild. So during the laning phase, can they win this laning stage? They're up against a very scary dual lane, actually, a Bane versus Slardar, and the combo potential from Vega is pretty big. So if they decide to jump on the Legion, the Wisp is going to be there for the regen, but if you jump on the Wisp, and if Trixie messes up again, then they could probably kill the Wisp again.
You don't really want to go... You want to go for the IO, ideally, but going for the IO involves you double healing the Legion Commander then with press the attack. So for Vega, actually getting heroes killed off in this top lane can be very difficult without Solo, who is going to be the big winner in this laning stage. Like, he will most likely not run into anyone for a good portion of this game, and he will be just fine. But top lane, Pashabashu should be getting an okay amount of farm, and he could rough up Boogie if he gets too close as well. Bottom lane, it's going to be a nightmare for Mag up against 2 ranged heroes with a lot of range at that. So, it's not going to be the greatest for him. No one up against Nymphy in the mid lane. This is not a lane you see all that often, but it should be fairly even.
I kind of feel like Nymphy should win this convincingly, and especially past that level 6 mark. He won't kill no one, But what he can do is that he can rotate, whereas a Bristleback in the mid lane, he doesn't give you anything that a Storm Spirit does. No sort of CC, no way to jump into the fights to help your team. So if Nemphy can get through this mid lane unscathed and get some decent amount of farm, he's going to be the winner in the mid lane. Whereas for Vega with the Bristleback, all he's there for is he just has to farm. He can try to contribute with some nasal goo, but that's it. You're not going to get too much from a Bristleback in the mid lane. He's just a passive farming mid.
In this top lane, Legion Commander is getting a little bit of farm, but really the purpose of this dual lane is to use your insane regen and sustain in order to just chase down the enemies and take the fight to them every single time. The problem is that you would ideally like to do this to the enemy support, but Seema, because he got first blood, has boots first. So Trixie, though he does have boots first as well, with a little bit of extra movement speed given by, you know, this overwhelming odds as well as that tether, they can't convincingly lock down and stick onto Seema. And now here comes the Nightmare. They have the press attack, they'll get Boogie free from that sleep. They will continue this chase, but they're really just going to struggle to actually catch up to Seema, let alone catch up to him enough to kill him. And now here comes the big problem. It's Solo. He's smoked up, has two fantastic creeps right now. They're going to cut Trixie off from Boogie, land the crush as well. Secondary stomp incoming if needed. They net him instead. Secondary stomp is there. Trixie getting healed up so much. Look at that regen from the Isle, but it's just not enough. That was press the attack healing and tether with a full bottle, and they still couldn't save that Legion Commander.
That was so close. If Vega did not have everything there, the creeps, the summons, the disables, then Trixie would have been able to get out of there. He's a very tanky hero, and we just saw with the Wisp how much damage he can sustain just with the bottle. So lucky for Vega to get the kill. Bristleback, they're getting a kill on the Storm Spirit in the mid lane. SOS much? What actually happened?
The Storm Spirit was free and clear. No one was playing the distances very well, though, with his Quill Spray. Quill Spray actually does show you the range, so never mind. I thought it didn't for some reason, but yeah, the Storm Spirit was fine, but then he walked back in to get a little more experience, and then no one just got one more Quill Spray off. So that should have been the Storm Spirit's survival, but instead, it is his doom, and that's 3-0. The Bristleback versus Storm Spirit matchup, when I said it was going to be pretty even, I meant Bristleback is going to get farm, Storm Spirit's going to get farm, and they're both going to be happy about that. I did not expect Bristleback to get kills. Boogie now going to get jumped by the Bane. Bane is a Nightmare, which does a lot of damage early on. Brain Sap, one more right click, not quite going to do it. Boogie going to survive, albeit barely. But Seema, the fact that he actually went for that shows how far ahead Vega feel right now.
That's how confident they feel. And this is the second time actually Seema puts an Observer Ward in this position at roughly this time. He did the exact same thing in game 1 on that Rubik, and that's how they got a lot of kills. And having that extra vision when you go for some potential dives in that top lane, it's going to make it much easier for you to get those kills. And if you see any sort of reinforcements, you're going to see it from a mile away, and you can just back up wherever necessary. So we just have a little bit of aggression, I guess. Nope. 4AC just poking their head into the jungle. They're very afraid, though, of getting picked off again. In particular, poor Boogie on that Wisp. Oh
and
god, mid lane though.
Nemphy in the mid lane. He doesn't have level 6 yet, and no one is freaking level 7. So this Bristleback is working with a lot of damage. Doesn't have a full bottle, however, so he's going to need a little bit more caution if he's going to dive that. Storm Spirit, once he gets level 6, and he now does have it, is almost completely immune to Bristleback, like, for the most part, and down towards bottom lane. Mag has been surviving, jumped on now, but they don't have enough burst damage to kill off this Darkseer, one of the tankier heroes in the game. And now Valix, he's going to get TP'd upon. Seema is here with the Nightmare available, but looks like he got fogged out. Nighttime is up right now. Mag, though, going to survive, and he's only level 3, so he's not having the best of times, but still, he hasn't died yet. That's a lot more that can be said in the top lane. Pasha going to get jumped by Nemphy with ball lightning forward. They'll crush the Slardar. Chen's creep's not helping there. And now Solo is going to jump by Nemphy as well. Centaur Hoof Stomp has already been used. He's going to get eaten alive, and he will lose all 3 of his creeps as well. A big pickup by 4ASC.
That was massive. They could not have asked for anything better. They get a kill on the Slardar, and they also get the extra bonus in the Chen. So for ASC, they are recovering very nicely as well, considering how Nemphy did in the mid lane up against the Bristleback. Up top, I think it's not really going to help them in the top lane too much because Pasha is still farming and he is still a force to be reckoned with. But Trixie's in the enemy jungle farming away this camp, so it's kind of a not really a deny, I guess, to Chen, because this is going to respawn by the time Chen gets into the jungle.
Solo is going to need a lot of time, however, to actually get ready to be active again. They'll catch Lean on the bottom lane with a Nightmare set up from Seema the Slayer, and no one has made his rotation down here. Maybe looking for Matuma Man. Doesn't have that much mana, but he does have a regen rune, so that's a tough kill to take. They will back off instead. It's a nice little kill for Vega, but really Solo needs a little bit of time before they actually do anything. And Pache's still not actually farming that well compared to what Trixie has, especially after those series of kills. He does still have his amplified damage though, and that is going to hurt a lot if he ever rejoins up with no one. But right now, it's the Bristleback and Bane to just rotate around. A Nightmare setup into just beatdown is really threatening onto pretty much anyone that's not Storm Spirit or Queen of Pain.
So Nymphy looks like he's going to be in trouble, but there's no solid lockdown to really keep him in place. So if he sees this, he's going to be fine. Just going to go for the zip out. Yes, there might be a Nightmare, but that's not going to keep him in place. Fiend's Grip not leveled up yet because Seema, he is still level 5. Up top though, because the supports have left Pache up there, he's unable to farm the lane. So this is going to be some nice farming space for ASE to really do what they need to. And well, we have that Wisp going to just TP back to base. Because he is pretty low and he's just going to fill up his bottle. Just give that extra space to Trixie up top to get the levels and farm that he needs, because he did struggle for a little bit. Just having that extra farming time with no one in your lane is really nice.
Also,
Blink Dagger on Trixie?
Trixie has level 6, Boogie also has level 6, so bottom lane for Mag, things just got a lot more dangerous, and it's going to be the Storm Spirit. Whenever he finds anyone, if he ball lightnings in, that will be an immediate 1 versus 3, or I guess X versus 3. And Nymphy might be looking towards no one right now. That's the toughest kill to take. And he will get relocated upon right now. No one's going to get some TP support from the Slardar. Taking a lot of damage. Duel is there. Crush will land onto 3, however, no one might fizzle this duel. In fact, he might even win it. Trixie will survive, albeit barely, and they won't get the kill on the Legion Commander. Pashu has to retreat. Nymphy can't chase forward for anything else. They will also make a trade Darkseer for Lina down towards the bottom lane, but that's pretty much exactly what I was saying. You jump in, it's going to be a tough fight, but that was a lot closer than it really should have been for SC.
That was so close. If Pache actually got that kill onto Legion, that would have been a massive win for Vega, because take into consideration, for ASC, they commit 3 heroes for a single hero kill, and if they lost a hero in the process, it would have all of a sudden turned the scenario in favor of Vega. So almost a loss there for ASC, but they managed to recover with everybody. Not full HP, just a sliver of HP, but as long as you're alive, that's what counts. Down bottom there, we might see some action. We've got 4 heroes here, and 3 of them are in the jungle. They're going to try and find somebody, the Tumberman, the closest hero to them, but it's a Queen of Pain. Blink is on cooldown, but they don't know that. So it looks like they just see Queen of Pain, they say, okay, no chance to kill that, we're just going to take the tower. Whereas the rest of 4 ASC, what are they doing? They want to take this mid-tier one. So 1-for-1 trade, but bigger win for ASC because it's a mid-tower. Bottom tower, not as valuable.
Well, Seema now has level 6, so Vega can actually start fighting up against these heroes with mobility, the blinks, the ball lightnings, TP coming in towards mid. That's solo. That's a bad idea, man. He's going to get blown up. Grip is there, however, and Empty might die to this one, although I think he'll be able to ball lightning out just fine. Brain Sap going to get canceled out by an LSA. Now Seema has to Brain Sap someone else, but 2-man also blanking out Seema, taking a beating right now. Nightmare not going to save him as Empty reinitiates for a double kill, actually. No one is going to go right on top of Valix. Pashu's going to arrive as well. Valix doesn't really have that much hope right now, although no one is closing in very swiftly. Nymphy's going to ball lightning around the corner, and he'll join up with Trixie right now. Valix can get that minus armor buffed out of him, and he will be just fine as well. That was a questionable TP, to say the least, from Solo. You don't do that as pretty much any hero, let alone a soft Chen.
He was probably thinking he was a little bit tankier than that, or the fact that maybe some heroes from 4 ASC had already backed off at that point, but miscalculation, he gives away his life, and that was also the tower too. So they take a tower, they grab a Chen, they get a Bane. And Vega, they get very minimal return because it was a T1 trade, because bottom was taken as well, but hero-wise, not favorable. Nymphy going to try and jump onto Pache, but he did manage to sprint away in time. Blink Dagger is well underway for Pache, but it will be a while. 1.5k gold. When he gets that though, he'll be the primary initiator, although Darkseer down bottom going to be chased up by Queen of Pain, but he is going to be fine because Matumba Man cannot tank the tower too much. Going to go on the high ground and TP out.
He just fine, grabs a Hand of Midas, perhaps a little bit late for a safe laner, Matumba Man, or for the Queen of Pain, let's say. But still, it's a Hand of Midas that Vega are not working with right now. Midas, okay for Queen of Pain. Ideally, you would like to go for something else, but up against a Chen, I would say it will get its value. 6-5 right now, and 4 ASC are leading the game. Vega, they, don't really have great initiation as they had in the last game. They'll have an eventual blink crush from the Slardar, but if they find themselves behind in this game, especially up against a Legion Commander who has infinite scaling, it might be a little bit more difficult for them to actually recover from that loss and actually bring it back come the mid-late stage, especially with Darkseer still struggling. He's not even level 6 yet, and Mag needs some serious farm time.
He could go into the jungle if he wants to, but he's been a bit stubborn and just stuck around the bottom lane, so it looks like he might go there. He's thinking about it. He could definitely go in the jungle, but they're just going to give it all to Solo. Because Solo, he wants that mechanism, and just having that is going to be an incredible asset because you know 4ASC wants to fight. So if you can have the mechanism, at least you can get rid of some of the damage. No one, they're going to be jumped on by Nemphy, and there's the dual damage going in the way of Trixie and Vega. God, Solo, he actually ran into the middle of all those heroes. Don't know what he was doing. There's the crush to keep Trixie in place, as well as the armor, degen. He's chasing Solo, but relocate out. Wisp is fine. Trixie manages to chop the Chen into pieces, and all of a sudden going to try and juke, but he still is being seen by the amplified damage. So Trixie gonna give his life away, unfortunately, but at what cost? He gets some damage plus 2 kills.
Totally worth it for the Legion Commander to make that trade. Even if he didn't get the damage, I would say it's still worth it. It's a 2-for-1. You kill off the enemy Bristleback. And losing your Legion Commander, though inconvenient, doesn't really matter since she already has her Blink Dagger. When Man's going to make a jump in the mid lane, suddenly Grip is there, but there's not that much follow-up. Ion Shell's almost going to be enough. It will actually be enough with the net from the Troll. Can't blink out of that, and then Brain Sap to follow. Queen of Pain giving away her life for pretty much nothing. And up towards top, speaking of, Pashibashi going to get jumped by Nemphy, holding the crush for now. Nemphy going to dodge it. Now no one's going to arrive. Nemphy very low on mana, needs one more hit to kill off Pashibashi. Pashibashi going to turn around for an amplified damage. No one's going to let loose onto Nemphy. This Storm needs a little bit more mana, but he doesn't actually have it. Has no one to give it to him either. Here comes Trixie, though, going to immediately win the duel. Now he's going to start fighting up against no one, but this is a Bristleback with a Vanguard we're talking about. Not an easy kill for a physical-based hero like Legion Commander, especially with Seema coming in as well. 2 stacked of Snot. That's going to be 3 as well. So Trixie's going to have to try to ring around the tower and wait for some support, but it's not going to happen. He'll get bursted down. Io's going to come in a little bit too late, as will the Queen of Pain. Maybe they get a retaliation kill if they go for Bane, but not for no one. That guy's way too tanky. They'll teleport everyone and their mom up to the top lane. Vega, though, make a sweet 1-for-2 trade. A pretty big golden experience swing.
That was so close. 4ASC, they're losing a lot of heroes, and just because of the fact that it was nighttime, they just lost vision constantly. They couldn't get all the targets that they wanted. They were so close to getting Pashe, but unfortunate there for them. Just the reaction time from Vega, they noticed things were happening, they bring heroes in, and they managed to get some counter kills. So Vega, they managed to patch up the damage, but they need a little bit more than this. They gave space to Mag, on the other hand, who is down bottom, level 8 all of a sudden. So he is finally starting to come online. Unfortunately, not in terms of items as of yet, but soon he will. Although there is going to be the dive in from Trixie, and Nemphy's going to be there as well. So that's going to be a death. But there's a crush onto 3 heroes, and they want Boogie. Can he pick him off? Though Pashe, unfortunately, it does not hit hard enough. So Boogie able to get out. He will relocate soon. Looks like they're just going to make a beeline for it. And Pashe, all of a sudden, just in a bit of a weird spot. But everyone on 4ASC, they've just backed up. They do not need to hang around. So nice, quick, and clean kill for ASC, whereas Vega, they tried to recover up top, though. They used to be a Chen.
Lina got to him, though. No creeps that can actually interrupt that. These creeps are less than ideal for a Chen to have at any stage. Now Nemphy has the better portion of his mana pool, and he's looking towards the bottom lane where they see Seema the Slayer. Diving a tower, though, a little bit risky. They're not going to make that play, but for ASC, they're getting a constant stream of pickoffs right now, and that's what you would expect from a team that has Queen of Pain and a Storm Spirit and a Legion Commander. Just grab pickoff after pickoff and keep Vega off balance, and it seems like it's working almost perfectly. A Blink Slardar right now, not super valuable, just because, again, as you said, he doesn't actually do that much damage, so he needs to join up with the Darkseer, but I don't know if these two heroes have ever really been together at any stage in the game, so Pashi is, like, less than good centaur right now. He's like centaur diet, or like a light centaur or something like that. So yeah, it's not a great place for a Slardar to be in. And for 4ASC, you might say that, oh, well, they're doing right now, but they don't really have any super late game carry. Queen of Pain has a very curious item in her inventory.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Top tower
oh.
is under attack.
Oh, wow.
That's not the recipe I thought it was gonna be when I moused over it.
Yeah,
like, oh, Orchid recipe first? That's interesting. No.
No, it could have been a Dagon.
Sure.
We're just being hopeful, but
I mean, it's
a
not
very
bad on Queen of
spiky
Pain.
looking Dagon. It's nice. It's going to give us some nice physical right clicks, and just keep in mind this is going to help the Legion Commander when she goes for the duels. There is a nice pickup though for Vega. They managed to get Roche, but they had to commit everybody, and that opened up the map for 4ASC, and they're going to manage to grab the top tower. They should be able to. Trixie though, he wants to grab the tower. He's very greedy, but the relocate should be there. There's going to be a relocate cast, there's the tether, and that's going to be Trixie out of there. Unfortunately no tower, but at least they keep the Legion alive.
The IO probably not as lucky. Boogie's gonna jump right in, has no one to tether to, and there is a crush, there's the beatdown. IO's gonna give his life, but that's pretty much a standard IO play right there. No towers lost, and Vega do have an Aegis right now on their Bristleback. I think I would have probably given it to Pashibashu, but I don't know. Bristleback, I guess, is holding the most health and the most threat. They'll just go for a straight up tier 1 tower push up towards top. Sonic Wave is level 2 from a 2-man, so he can clear this out pretty easily, but he wants to get a little bit more farm. Trixie also has an overwhelming odds. Oh my god, that was brutal.
Well, that's what happens when you're running a small army up against Legion Commander. She is the anti-army hero. She maybe found out though, Pache blinking forward. He wanted to go for amplify damage, but unfortunately no vision. Not quick enough either.
Looks like 4ASC don't really want to get into a fight right now. They're going to probably take a tower out of this one, probably the bottom tier 1, but sooner or later this push is going to be a concern for 4ASC. They have overwhelming odds. Trixie gonna blink straight in, gonna get out of there immediately. No one's gonna pop the Crimson Guard, charge them. Looking for Boogie, but he's just not fast enough to keep up with them right now. With that tether movement speed, they will force everyone back. And the tower has already been taken down towards bottom, but this should be a 2-for-1 tower trade in favor of Vega. If they could avoid a fight right now, that'll be fantastic for them. Hold on to the Aegis, go for mid lane, or go for the throat. Jump in, Valek's in a little bit of trouble, will get buffed out. Seaman Slayer can't get the grip off in time. I think pushing high ground's a little bit too ambitious. In the meantime, backlines Nemphy sees Solo. That's his target right now. Seema is also ideal. He's going to jump right in for that Bane. Relocate in as well. Seema is going to lose his life, most likely to a duel. The rest of Vega just retreating. It's still a 2-for-1 tower trade, and if they can get away without any more casualties, that'll be great for them. They could reset, rearm, and go for another tier 1. But Pasha and Solo picking a fight with Matumba Man. Looks like that should just dissolve.
So Matumba Man still hasn't bought the Death. He's bought everything, but he's actually kind of fainting the item. He doesn't want to hold everything as of yet, but Trixie, he wanted to just go in there and poke at Pache, but he blinked out because he was actually really afraid at this point. Nemphy, no mana, but looks like Balex will be the target. Never mind, Trixie, isolated by himself. Where's the Wisp, actually? Is he there with the relocate? He's actually going to go for the relocate. I don't even know what's happening at this point. That actually gets disconnected, and Boogie looks like he's going to give his life away, saying, take me instead. Oh, what a guy.
Well, Vega will be more than okay to make that trade, or take the Wisp instead. It's a kill, and that's going to mean the tower's also going to die. No vacuum into wall from Mag, though. The wall was pretty nice. Mag has so far not really been doing too much in the Darkseer outside of Ion Shell. The tower is going to be destroyed, and Vega, they still have an Aegis on this Bristleback. Solo's army, though, not really an army anymore. I don't think we can call it that. It's going to have two Mud Golems, the Permastun, Hurl, Boulder, the Dream, but with the Bristleback, still with the Crimson, still with the Aegis, they're going to make an attempt at this tower, but Trixie will take down the top lane at the very least, so it still might be a 2-for-1. No, he's going to be forced to blink out, just a feigned TP from Pashibashu. But for ASC, now is about the time where they want to start defending.
I think they're just going to keep Matumba Man split pushing. He's got the Desolator up, and he's just in lane at this point, just going to keep on going. And they've even got Trixie up top. He actually just TPs back to make sure that they can defend this incoming push. Although we just actually have another here. We got Nemphy in the jungle as well, so for ASC, they're not too worried. They're not keeping everyone in base, but they have to bring them back sooner rather than later, and there's going to be a couple of nukes thrown out by 4ASC to just slow down the push. They just want to keep and fend off Vega from this tower. Keep him off it for as long as possible. See if Queen of Pain can get a T2 tower down bottom and then TP into the mid lane and possibly go for a fight. Now Vega, what do? I think 4AC just waiting for the Aegis to run out, or they zip forward. I actually heard a zip somewhere. Never mind though. They're just going to try and go for a crush. No one is going to go down straight away. Trixie though, he will manage to survive through the Fiend's Grip because it was cancelled by the stun coming out from Lina. There's going to be the ult from Trixie, and he wants to try and grab a kill onto no one, but that is a Bristleback. He's super tanky. That's the duel already wasted, and Trixie just going to go to the front lines, make sure he's soaking up the damage. Vega, they want to run away. Where is the catch-up potential for 4ASD? Are they going to try and dive? Looks like they won't because most of their heroes have no mana, but Matumba Man even came back for the fight as well. Sonic Wave wasn't even used.
Seema the Slayer once again delivering on his Bane, both with the grips as well as that Nightmare to save his Bristleback friend from an untimely death. Mag's Wall also helping them disengage there, and for ASC, that was technically their defense, but they didn't really defend with everything that they had right there. That was a lot of tower damage being put into this tier 3, and it's a tier 3, if it dies, it's going to be a problem for 4ASC, but it's not something that they're going to be unable to come back from. Vega, though, they get a lot of time to actually make that push happen. 4ASC still with the gold lead, however, because they have been farming the entire time where Vega have been pushing. Vega, they no longer have an Aegis right now. They have to wait and pretty much wait for 4ASC to make some sort of aggressive play towards them, and when that happens, it might be onto Pashibashu, sitting right under an invis room right now. He has no idea about it. They're going to set up Blink, Duel. Pashibashu is so many layers of screwed right now. He's going to give up 58 total damage now towards Trixie, and with no Slardar, Vega, they have to defend, and 4ASC, they push pretty darn fast with this Desolator build from the Queen of Pain.
I still don't understand the Deso on the Queen of Pain. Was it for split push? Was it for synergy with the Legion Commander? I have no idea, but it fits into the draft. It's just on an unconventional hero if we think about it. Don't see Queen of Pains pick this up at all.
If it is picked up, it's picked up as almost the last item, but hey, minus armor helps you take down those towers, and that's sometimes all you need. The split pushing has been working really well for the Queen of Pain, though maybe a Maelstrom would have been a little bit preferable. Either way, it doesn't really matter. What's done is done. Tier 2 tower also taken right now by 4ASC. They still have a gold lead. They still have a pretty substantial experience lead right now in Vega. They kind of feel like they're rushed into making these plays, and I think they are. Like, their late game is not super strong compared to what 4ASC have, but 4ASC are getting a lot of farm on the right heroes. Queen of Pain, namely, is going to go for a BKB, and we'll have that one very shortly.
She doesn't even have to use the BKB until absolutely necessary. She's not being the primary target against Vega, because Vega look at her and they say, it's just a Queen of Pain, it's not disable, she's not really bursting us down, it's mostly Trixie as well as a Storm Spirit with a disable. If you can get the Wisp, that's a bonus too. So because of this, Matamba Man can actually do whatever the hell he wants in the team fight. If he starts getting focused down, he can use the BKB defensively, or if he wants to go ham, pop it preemptively and just go right in there. So it's gonna split Vega's attention. They're gonna say, oh shit, we actually have to focus down onto Matamba Man now. Trixie though, he's gonna be gripped up. Valix there is just gonna throw the Dragon Slave, and looks like that's gonna be a wasted grip from Seema the Slayer. And actually Pasha wanted to try and go onto Valix, but there was a nice LSA. Trixie gonna blink next to Valix, and Wisp is gonna be tethered to him. Oh, he's actually Nightmare, and unfortunately, actually vacuumed onto the high ground, but the Crush gonna connect onto 2, and that's gonna be Boogie down as well as Trixie. Look how quickly he goes down as well.
With 2 heroes down for 4ASC, Vega, though they have lost the Chen, they still have Chen's army, and that's probably debatably more important than having the Chen alive and in this fight. Tier 2 tower being pushed on the bottom lane, but this tower in the mid lane is definitely going to fall, and Queen of Pain, or Legion Commander rather, she has a lot right now as far as damage is concerned, but without the IO is not as valuable. So Vega, they're just going to go for it. They have the armor from the Ice Ogre, Ogre Frost Mage. They have the Alpha Wolf there from the damage aura as well. This tower is going to get denied, probably by the 4ASC side. They also have Nemphy looking for a ball lighting in, but Vega, they will make a retreat, which will be a free tier 3 tower down for them. Not destroyed, but hey, it's a little bit more cash in their pockets, and now they're just going to wait for Roshan. Unfortunately for Vega, it's at maximum respawn length, so yeah, they will not have that one for a very long time.
That's very sad for Vega. They need that Roshan as soon as possible, and all of a sudden they might actually get a surprise in what we call smoke ganks in Dota 2. So we have Valix leading the way, but Nemphy should be the first one to jump in there. Relocate will not be necessary to go into the fights. They will be saving this in case somebody is in trouble. So relocate back home, it should be okay. So Vega, are they ready for this? They don't even know what's happening, because obviously smokes are smokes. You should not know this is happening. For ASC, who is their target? Who will they find? They just need some vision.
Oh, they're wrapping around. This is the perfect play, unless no one is going to stick in this little corridor. It looks like Vega, well, they're now going to know what's going on, because 4SC decide not to make that play. A little bit cautious for them, but it could have been a really good place to make that fight. Looks like they will decide to fall back. If no one's not in the front lines, if it's the Bane to die first for 4SC, like if he gets caught in the duel, bursted down by a Sonic Wave or something like that, it's just all over for Vega. They need this Bane to survive, a lot like in the last game. Seema is such an important hero for Vega to keep alive. But instead, they're just going to dodge death for right now. Both sides will be looking for this Roshan. Vega have a weaker Roshan Pit fighting lineup, but they can actually kill Roshan, whereas for 4SC, they will struggle a little bit more to actually kill it off, but they can fight fantastically in the area, so it's going to be a game of Roshan chicken.
I actually think 4ASC can take down Roshan relatively quickly. They've got a Deso on the Queen of Pain, so it's not impossible. But yeah, 4ASC, their AoE, it's massive compared to Vega. Vega, they can't really fight. BKB forward, Trixie wants to go for the kill, wants to no one, but he's going to be nightmared up. Sonic Wave going to do quite a bit of damage in the backline. So we have our Wisp as well as Nymphy, and they're going to take them the Bristleback, but the wall, the vacuum, is going to suck everybody in, but it's not going to really take them down. There's going to be the Yules, and all of a sudden Darkseer will go down, and we have all these heroes backing up, and Seema, he didn't even get to use the grip until just now, and he will be... where'd he actually go?
He's fine. He teleported back. He got sent back by Solo before Solo got out of there. Pashabashu was not in that fight, however. Unfortunately for Vega, they focus for 4SC, they focus everything into this Bristleback, and he has a BKB, he has a Crimson Guard, but he was stunned for like the entire fight. Could not get a single spell cast out of there. Even the BKB Crimson Guard, which comes out, if not completely instantly, near instantly. So Vega, they have 20 seconds where 4SC will be going for this Roshan, and maybe Slardar makes a miracle play, but it seems like this will be a free Aegis for ASC. It's a bold call, making the play of, jumping in, focusing exclusively the Bristleback, but if you get it, you get it. Posh is going to blink in, crush, get back to the base, just a scout, and that's going to be Aegis for Nymphy.
That was very cute from the Chen and the Slardar, but unfortunately for Vega, that's the Aegis going in the way of Nymphy. And all of a sudden, Vega, who was supposed to be the aggressors, are now going to be in a defensive position, because you look at 4ASC, they have the tools to push high ground. They've got everything that they need. They've got Aegis, they have a Deso to improve the speed that for them to take down the towers. And actually, can they find Pashe? Oh, Trixie, how do you know? And there's the duel. Pashe, he will be sent home. They will attempt it, but all of a sudden, that's going to be where Slardar used to be now. Trixie going to run away because his Wisp buddy has died. Trixie, does he have a TP? He does, but he's going to blink, and then he's going to go for the TP. The rest of his team is just backed up, but a Wisp for Slardar. Big win there.
And for 4SC, if they keep making that trade, they'll be pretty happy. Vega, they really can't afford to make a push happen off of this, as much as they would like to, since the Rax's mid lane are exposed. They can't. There's an Aegis on the Storm Spirit. If they get into a fight with him, they have no bash or anything like that in the Bristle. He's not even going to be going for that. They can't kill him off unless somehow Seema lands a perfect grip, and that is very difficult to achieve. Also, bottom lane is being pushed for the fourth or fifth time by the Queen of Pain. She's even threatening high ground, so for ASC, this is a very high mobility draft for them, and they're more or less playing it as perfectly as they can. Just jumping in, jumping out, getting the assassinations off, and speaking of, Sol up towards top, looks like he's going to be facing down his Doom very shortly. This is going to be Trixie's 100th stack of damage. This Legion Commander is hitting pretty damn hard.
Oh, it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And this is not even item damage, it's just free damage. Although we might lose somebody, Velix. That was a grip committed, but all of a sudden, are they in a bad position? They're going to lose Seema potentially. He will Nightmare himself. Pashe's going to be there just to throw the debuff onto Trixie, and no one. He wants to take down that Legion Commander. Is Wisp nearby? Actually, where is the Wisp? There's a crush. Look how quickly Trixie went down. Oh my god. Nymphy, just going to have to go for the zip out, and Tubberman is nearby. Wisp is there to speed him up a little bit, because a Storm Spirit by himself is actually a slow fat man. So they will manage to get back to base, but Trixie, no buyback, and that's massive.
The Lina does, she probably won't need to use it right now, but Vega, they are threatening to push up this high ground now. If Vega can keep 4ASC isolated, this Legion Commander, especially from the IO, that's a much easier kill. She did have a BKB, I believe, available there, but just didn't get to use it just because she died so quickly. So Vega, they're making a high ground push right now. It's halfway out of desperation, halfway because they have a good opening right now. If they can kill off the Storm Spirit somehow, that'll be huge, but they don't have a grip from the Bane. So it's just going to be the Storm Spirit making a mistake, or Pashabashu and Sheer Burst. Melee Rax is their objective. That is the harder one to take, and that's going to be a little bit too difficult, I would say. Vega, they have to fall back. No Chen creeps in the area at all. It's still a nice series of pickoffs for Vega, but not good enough, I would say. Still, this Aegis on Storm Spirit is going to be a brick wall for them, but they have a lot of farm incoming. Mag has an upgraded, or has an Aghanim Scepter on the way if he wants to complete that one up. And okay, it's a Mystic Staff. That's an Octarine Core?
Octarine.
I'm
not too sure what the build up is.
Cooldown on Darkseer.
Octarine core. Sorry, I'm just gonna take a look at this.
Oh, no one though. He's
Maybe.
gonna get jumped. Relocate in. There is Seema in the area, so he has that grip available. He will use it immediately onto Trixie. Mag is gonna arrive as well, but he gets jumped on by Nemphy. They're gonna force Trixie and Boogie to run away. Can they actually get a beat on the Storm Spirit? They don't have this grip any longer, and the relocate out is gonna keep everyone safe. Now Nemphy, is he gonna get crushed? He will dodge death, albeit barely. TV up toward top lane in the meantime, and Man's gonna try to go for kill on the solo. Just one more hit. There it is. But he will give his own life for it. That's a 1-for-1 trade across the map, but a 1-for-1 that Vega are gonna be more than happy to make. Then we have a pause. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be an Octarine for the Darkseer.
It's interesting for him to decide to go for Octarine, because it's gonna be some nice cooldown reductions, but his spells, they're still relatively long cooldown. 28 seconds for Vacuum without Octarine core. How much is that going to actually take off? 25% of
21 seconds.
It's like 12.
21 seconds.
21 seconds. It's not going to make a difference in that department. Maybe give them more ion shells. Maybe lower the cooldown of Wall of Replica. That's 25 seconds shaved off of that, which is pretty nice. But it's still more than a minute cooldown. Maybe they just want to keep on fighting. Actually, what's the interaction between Wall of Replica illusions and the heal?
That's what I don't know about. I'm inclined to say that the illusions will not lifesteal for you, but I actually don't know.
We'll have to see when it actually comes up, because I've never seen a Darkseer and I've never seen an Octarine core in a pro game before.
I think this is going to be my second one. I think I've seen one on Lestrak once. That was pretty ridiculous. But
oh, Lestrak, yeah.
Yeah, I think like walking through the Wall of Replica will, of course, give you that little bit of spell steal, but the illusions will not. I'm not sure.
Maybe if the illusions explode? I have no idea. I really don't know what the interaction is. We'll just have to see if it actually works out. Maybe they've tested this and they're just saying, okay, I feel comfortable, let's do this, and we're in for a surprise. Who knows?
Maybe it's completely broken. But
it could be broken.
Will it be good
could
enough,
crash
however?
the game.
If it is what I'm saying, like they just get the life steal from the wall, then Darkseer, as far as the life steal or the spell steal is concerned, not worth the price tag. Like Darkseer does not need to do that. He could just go for a Shiva's Guard or hell, even like a Heaven's Halberd or something like that and get probably more EHP. But for the cooldown reduction, it's a hard thing to evaluate just because Octarine Core is the only thing that does it. I guess Keeper of the Light does it, but it's one of the few things that does it. And for Darkseer, his cooldowns, that is his restriction. Like if you get more skills out, your Darkseer becomes that much more effective.
But the thing is, you're never gonna get 2 walls off in a fight. The fight just never happened that long. If it does, then that's probably the longest fight in history. And even if you manage to have a fight that long, Mag's probably dead by that point, because he is a primary target. He's holding the pipe, so if you can get the pipe off twice, then it's going to be annoying. Actually, Octarine Core works on items as well, doesn't it? Or is it just spells?
I'm pretty sure it's just spells and items. It says passive cooldown.
Spells and items. So
you
maybe
get more pipe, but
double pipe. Maybe he's gonna go for Hex later on. Who knows?
Might as well go for a refresher orb then. Jump in. Trixie's gonna catch Pashabashu. BKB though is up in the Slaughter. Trixie's gonna get hit pretty darn hard as they jump in straight towards the backline. Mag has his wall up, but it's not really doing that much. They finally pulled 2 heroes back in. Trixie's gonna go down to no one. This Bristleback with the AC so darn tanky. He's gonna go straight for Valix right now. One more Quill Spray, one more hit. There it is. Killing spree for no one. It's a 2-0 in favor of Vega right now. And that fight for 4SC, not the jump that they wanted to make. First of all, jumping into Pashabashu, this Slaughter is big, had his BKB up, and also had a lot of backup jump in from Nemphy though. Hand God can keep Pashabashu alive for a little while longer, seeing the Slayer, taking a lot of damage in the meantime, is tanky enough to get away though. They're not focusing down this Bristleback at all, they're completely ignoring him in fact, disrespecting no one's damage output. He'll kill off Boogie in a hurry, now going for Trixie, who just bought back, and I don't know if he could survive this again. He'll die, and now into Mutumman he goes. No one is unstoppable right now. They just can't get a beat on him. Now he's gonna beat down Nemphy. He's gonna get a triple kill, but Mutumman forced to buy back, but no one. Just went off like a rocket. Look at this disrespect, sitting in the middle of the enemy's fountain. He took like no damage in that entire fight, and he was doing so much. 4SC with mistargeting, and now no one's gonna beat down Mutumman. Look at that damage. That is just not even funny.
That's disgusting. That is absolutely... I've never seen a Bristleback so tanky, do so much damage, and Nemphy gonna try and go for a kill onto Seema, but Well, he's got no mana and he might be a target now because he's just going to start piling on the goo and he will start whacking on him. The rest of 4ASC though, what can they really do? No one is so tanky. Nemphy is so low, 100 HP. He will get it to the fountain though. Now, Vega, they've got their objectives. What are they going to do? Will they take another one or are they going to back up at this point? Because 4 heroes are up for 4ASC and no buyback on Trixie. They're going to try and jump onto Simo. This is just the Bane. They even popped the Laguna as well, but no one. He wants to go into Matamba Man. LSA going to be there. There is no Aegis, no second life for no one. So if he dies, he's dead. Can they actually get him though? He's still alive a little bit longer. He'll be chucked in the air. Nemphy. He's actually going to be taken down by Pashe Bashu. They do lose the Bristleback in the end though, but Pashe is doing what he can. But Tummerman, his blink is on cooldown. He might actually be crushed in the point, and he will. That's going to be him going down. Valix, though, blinking forward, wants to try and go for a kill, but unfortunately they're overextending, and well, we do have Boogie here with the bottle ready, and he's going to try and help Trixie fight up against Pasha. Look how much damage there was, and they will take him down solo. Mag, they're trying to run away, but that's not going to happen. Sima, he's by himself. There's the grip onto Valix, but unfortunately no follow-up damage. He does get the kill, but he will pay with his life. And there's the Atos, a slow Boogie down Nemphy, going to keep on chasing, low on mana, but can he actually get Sima? He's very tanky. Trixie going to be there just to do a little bit of extra damage because of those creeps. They should get him very soon. They should get him soon.
Eventually.
We'll get him now.
There it is. Took a little while, but
yeah.
For Vega, they end up losing 4 heroes. I don't think they actually bought back. No, they actually did buy back and teleport in with the Bane, so that was pretty expensive, but they get so many kills before that actually happens. They also take down the melee racks and bring down the range racks pretty darn low, so range racks is, for all intents and purposes, going to die. They cash in on that fight. Like, midway through that, Bristleback bought a Basher. He's sitting on 1,000 gold on top of that. Octarine Core, no, it's a Shiva's Guard for Darkseer. Okay, that's a little bit more traditional, and that I could get a little bit more behind, but yeah, for Vega, they just cashed in really huge on that last fight, taking a Rax lead now, and Bristleback, if he grabs an Aegis, oh my god, the nightmares that 4ASC will have to face up against. They struggled so much to kill off this Bristleback once. They don't have a chance of killing him off twice unless they kill off everyone else from Vega, and even then, Solo has his Aghanim Scepter, so Hand of God on a ridiculously low cooldown of just 30 seconds. This is going to be really difficult for ASC to come back from, and they were in such a good position, but suddenly, look at that plummet in advantage. It was such a huge advantage for 4ASC. Suddenly, gold is in favor of Vega. Experience, not as much so, but with this Aegis, or with the Roshan being alive, well, they're going to try to contest it for ASC. Again, they have a really good Roshan fighting lineup, and they will crash this party, at least Pasha Bashu's party. Doomman still smoked up. His smoke is going to break. If they can get the duel on him, ball ending in, Pasha Bashu's going to blink out. He'll be just fine. But I'm pretty sure he knows that some heroes are coming in. Mag has his vacuum wall combo up. Roshan not taking any damage, in fact. And look at this positioning from 4ASC. This is a trap. Admiral Akbar style. Full on. This is going to be a lot more difficult for no one to actually connect hits with, just because he will have more room to run around with. Nemphy does see everyone blink in. They're going to catch no one in the duel. No Nightmare from Seamus gets held up by the Storm Spirit. There is the wall deployed. Vacuum back onto 3. But Trixie's taking more damage than no one or Pasha Bashu. Will take down the Legion Commander first. Seamus Slayer will go down. He doesn't have his grip. Didn't have his grip there. Valix, though, is going to get beaten down in trade. Now they're going to chase forward to the south. Boogie is going to be able to pop his Ghost Scepter, but will that actually keep him alive? Well, a long tether away, and he will survive, but it's still a 2-for-1 for Vega. That jump-in duel did next to nothing to this Bristleback. He's so damn tanky, as is Pasha Bashu, both of whom have plate mails in their inventory.
Oh, the amplified damage is just what's killing Trixie. The amplified damage every time, just lowering his armor so much that Vega can just literally cut him like butter. And what can 4ASC, they can't do anything unless they initiate onto no one, because no one's the problem. But the thing is, if you don't take away the backline crew, which is Pasha Bashu on the Slaughter, on Mag, who's playing on the Darkseer, the backline crew, they're also playing key roles. So there's no one hero that 4ASC can target down. They have to control the entire draft, but they just don't have enough to go around for everybody. There's just no one target. So 4ASC, if they can pull off a Vega like last game, I'll eat a shoe.
I knew you were going to say something like that, and then I could tell halfway that you regretted saying, I will.
Yep.
Oh man, that's fine though. No one's gonna make you eat any shoes. No one is gonna go straight towards the melee racks though. This guy is hitting very hard. Does have his Aegis this time, and he does have a Glimmer Cape behind him. Jump in from Nempi. Gonna go on to Mag. That's not a great target. He's gonna get dueled up, but no one's right here. Bashes Trixie in one hit. Now going towards Nempi. Mag's still alive. The duel with Fizzle, and now the grip onto Trixie. This Legion Commander is gonna go down. She has no back either. Mag will go down in exchange from Valix, but Matum Man being focused down by no one in the base, as is Valix by Pashibashu and Boogie separated from the rest of his squad. That's going to be it. 27-31. No one in all three of these games. A freaking all-star for Vega. This guy, man. This guy.
He's an absolute star. I don't want to say he carried it, but he played such a big role. Even Seema says it. Seema, no one will play. Just this guy. Give him a medal. Just give him extra. I don't know what we can give him. We can give him a badge. But
more
man,
money from the winnings that they just collected. Dude just earned it. A bonus for no one, man. Like, the two DKs, the first two games were very similar. He just crushed everyone. And in this game, 15-4-9. Put that score on anyone, it's going to be impressive. But, man, I don't want to take anything away from the rest of Vega, especially Seema. This game, and, well, pretty much all of the games, he's been doing exactly what you need Seema the Slayer to do. And for Vega, they're looking pretty darn good. They just 3-0'd 4ASC, and they just won the G2A Cup.
I told you beforehand. I knew Vega was going to win, and I have proof, but I'm not going to tell you where that proof is.
I don't see any proof.
But for ASC, though, what do you think went wrong in all three games? Did you think it was miscommunication? Were they outdrafted? Was it just outplayed? I feel like it was outplayed game 1. Game 2, they threw. And game 3, they had the momentum for a while, but after a while, it just seemed like Vega just overcome everything that they threw at them.
I think really the only point where you could say they just got outdrafted was in game 1, where Vega just kind of stomped them. This game was a lot closer. Second game also they just threw, but the reason like these games are so close was because Vega executed in these big team fights so effectively. The focus fire in game 2 especially brought them back from like a 10k golden experience lead or something like that. That's not an easy deficit to come back from. And then this game, Vega, they just got way too big on no one, and 4ASC didn't really have the proper burst to follow up with their blinks. Like Queen of Pain, Desolator, Hyperstone, like her build, if you just look at her items, you would not guess Queen of Pain. In your first 20 guesses, you would not guess Queen of Pain. It just didn't seem like she actually did anything in those fights except for run away.
Because she built towards that right click, because she got a Hyperstone after the Deso. It was very quirky, but unfortunately for 4ASC, they just didn't get anything out of those games. But that's it for that supposedly best of 5. It felt like a best of 3, actually.
Yeah, that was quick and decisive from Vega. A clean 3-0. So Vega's run in this tournament, guys, let me just break it down for you. First round versus London Conspiracy, 2-0. Then versus Burden United, 2-0. Then versus Basically Unknown, 2-0. Then versus 4ASC, 3-0. Vega just came into this tournament, punched everyone in the face, and took all of their money. So, yeah, what a performance coming out from this Vega side. 4SC did lose one game versus Power Rangers in round 1. But, man, 4SC also looking pretty darn strong amongst the contenders. But, guys, this is going to be it for the stream for today. Vega Squadron winning about 5,000 USD. It's about 4,400 euro, if I am correct with my, transfer rate, which I'm probably not. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to follow us. We're usually on HeflaTV channel, so you follow us there on Twitter. But if you like the casting, I'm Mike Lowers. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Lowers. You can find my co-caster at DaniellyCasts on you can find her at Twitter at DaniellyCast as well. It's all in the title. Guys, thank you once again for supporting the Yard G2A Festival. Again, big thanks to G2A for actually providing the support for this one. Use the code YARD, Y-A-R-D, in G2A. Get a little bit of cash back. But for right now, guys, that's going to be a big congratulations to Vega. Big congratulations to 4ASC. And we will see all of you guys next time.
GG.